Hey guys, welcome back to underKG Show. Today we have a box of letter congratulating our 100,000 subscribers and a nice looking frame. So this is from YouTube to celebrate our 100,000 subscribers. We're pretty sure believe that it's nearing 120,000 subscribers right now. This is such an awesome gift. Thanks to each and one of you. You guys have brought this to us. Thank you always. Sincerely, really. We're going to do our best to bring the better videos, so stay tuned. We'll get back with more golden or whatever prizes that we may get. All right, enough with the trophy. We got the iPhone 6 over here. So this is the latest iPhone from the Apple. They came up with the two versions, iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus, and this is for the iPhone 6. So the biggest change that we see from here is the designs, and this is the iPhone 5S, and from its boxy kind of design, they changed it to very round, curvy design. There might be people who like it or not, but it feels pretty nice on the hand. All right, it's got a receiver on the top, 1.2 megapixel of FaceTime camera, and the 4.7 inches of a display. It's got bigger in all dimensions except for resolution. It stays the same with the 1330. It's got a higher resolution too with 1334 by 750, but stays in the exact same PPI with 326 PPIs. It's got a Touch ID sensor right there, which also acts as a home key as always, and Touch ID performance has been improved. It's faster and it's more accurate now. On to the right is a power key with this little antenna thingy and the nano SIM card tray. And to the top without anything, and to the left is a mute rocker, the volume rocker, and lightning port, speaker, and earphone jack with the microphone. Now this is a little change from the iPhone 5S as well. They used to have the two identical looking design. There was questions, people asking why does this part of the speaker not work? Well, that's because it's a microphone. Now this doesn't seem to make that kind of questions. Going to the back is that line over here that not many of us have liked. It still is not beautiful. When with the lights, it's not that bad, but without lights, it really stands out, and that's not in a good way. And here's the camera. It sticks out a little. That's not a welcome change. And there's a dual tone flash with the secondary microphone, Apple logo, and the iPhone logo and such. And the back side is totally metal, so it's gonna, if you got a sweaty hands like mine, it's not gonna look good. But overall, the build quality is amazing. It's very well built, as always the other iPhones are. There is such thing called Bendgate. We suggest not sitting on your iPhone. That's certainly not a good thing. Well, it seems like Apple's paying a little less attention to those kind of problems. But Apple has never been never good with those kind of problems. So here is the iPhone 6. Looks amazing, except for that sticking out camera, which is kind of a bother. When you put your phone on the table without any case, it kind of wiggles around. And especially with the Compass app over here, it also has the, hold on, let me calibrate this. It's gonna take a little while. See, you look really weird when you do this on the street when your Maps app asks you to do it. And it's not completely flat. It's gonna turn into flat if you put it on something flat. So that's a little design mistake if they never knew it. Pretty sure they did. But that's somewhat disappointing. Alright, so this is the iPhone 6 display. It's got a dual domain display with dual domain pixels, and without even those technological glitches, it's totally amazing display. Not exactly the highest resolution on the mobile devices, but it's amazing both in the color reproduction, the brightness, and the outside legibility, and pretty much everything. This is pretty much the best display I've ever seen on a mobile device. It's also got one more line of icons. If you don't like that to happen, you can just go to display and there's a view option and you can just make it revert back to the way the previous iPhones were. And aside from that, it's got a bigger display, so your finger If you got a small hands and you can't reach the one on top as you were able to do on the previous iPhones, they have added a little feature called the reachability. So you can tap gently on your Touch ID home key, and it's going to scroll down your icons, push down your icons a little bit so you can reach the icons on top. And that's a little neat feature, but Samsung and the other Android manufacturers have been putting the one-hand mode, so to call, and they've been reducing the screen size as whole so you can reach any icons, or you can even type on the icons, type on the keyboard when you're one hand. And this doesn't seem like to provide with that much of ability to use it with your one hand. Aside from that, iOS 8 has got a lot of improvements, such as third-party keyboard and third-party application APIs, linkage, and everything. But we're not going to deal with all of them on the video with the iPhone 6 because they apply to the previous versions of the iPhones as well. And the software-wise, aside from the reachability, there's nothing much of the specific iPhone 6 or 6 Plus functions. What is specific is the camera. Of course, the camera optics itself is improved, but another thing that I was really surprised at was how stable video is. They're calling this the cinematic stabilization, and those videos are surprisingly stable, considering how unstable they were with the other devices without those functions. And video itself is amazing, and it also comes with the 240 FPS slow-mo video. We can see that from here. That's double the speed from what we have from iPhone 5S. See the water falling. And we have one more clip. We're gonna watch that right now. That was pretty cool, eh? And those are the camera. The camera are completely amazing. With the daylight photos are completely stunning. They are better than most of the cameras outside, and these are pretty much one of the best photos I've ever seen on the mobile devices as well. Night scenes, not pretty much. The HTC devices or the Xperia devices actually took better photo, brighter photo, of course including the Nokia Lumias, have taken brighter photos on the night scenes. So that was part of disappointment. There are third-party apps that take better photos at the night time, so you might want to use that. And sound quality is absolutely stunning. It's even better than the previous generations of the iPhones. I'm not exactly an audiophile, so I'm not going to be able to give the exact details or the numbers, but they sound amazing. The sound are very crisp, and the bass is solid. And overall, it was just an amazing experience. And so was the speaker, although it's not like the stereo front-facing speaker or like a boom sound or anything. The speaker quality was absolutely amazing. What was not amazing was the battery life. We were able to maintain about the day usage of the phone, which is not exactly stunning. This is about the mediocre. It was almost as the same as the iPhone 5S. There wasn't exactly much of the improvement. So that was something that we were not exactly happy with. Aside from that, the phone itself feels amazingly, so to say, fit on your hand. The curvy edges and those finishes gave absolutely amazing experience on your hand, and it wasn't exactly as hard as I have imagined to use it with one hand. This is the best iPhone they have ever launched, and that's without a doubt. And it's not reading my Touch ID. It does now. It's the best iPhone they have ever launched. This might sound really obvious, but that's somewhat true. If you're upgrading for a 5 or the 5S, and if you're not exactly a big fan of the bigger displays, this might not be your call. But if you are upgrading from the previous generations of the iPhones, this would be definitely a surprising upgrade. There are some glitches, namely for the camera and that weird line over there. Those are not my favorite, but still that doesn't diminish how good of an iPhone this is. I'm gonna limit that to how good of an iPhone this is. This feels amazing and feels really awesome in your hand. I really like the this curvy edge of the display. One might wonder whether you should get the iPhone 6 or the 6 Plus. I'm just going to mention it very briefly because you got to watch the iPhone 6 Plus review as well. But unless you're aiming for a giant display, unless you're a fan of that, you should definitely get the iPhone 6. It feels much nicer on your hand. It's easier to control, and the same design on the bigger iPhone doesn't exactly seem cool. This is just way too big, and it's just big in every single aspect. So if you're looking for an iPhone, this is definitely worth an upgrade if you're coming from a previous generation of the iPhone. This is by far the best iPhone they ever built, and that's something that's not going to change for a while. So that was iPhone 6. We also have other, much more reviews. Please do drop by underKG.com. We got more photos, sample shots, and the reviews for the other devices. Do so. And we got underKG View. We got awesome videos there too. And our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Follow to get the latest of underKG. Thank you always for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.